Evening, everyone. I'm Michael. Welcome to this evening's meditation practice. Anybody here for their first time? All right. Well, wonderful. Great. Thanks for coming out tonight. I have a few announcements to make before we get started. If you haven't already, please silence your cell phones. That way, and put them away so you can be fully present for the talk and the meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join Geshe Lobsang Tenzin for our weekly Medicine Buddha practice in person and online at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. Tonight, Geshe Phende will speak on how to deal with stress. Next week, Geshe Lobsang will speak on verse 1 of the 8 verses of Training the Mind. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m., the monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct the Protector Puja for smooth journeys, successive interviews, medical treatments, new business, etc. The intermediate series continues in October with Class 4 on the topic of Ultimate Bodhicitta, Developing Wisdom and Insight. While Geshe Phende is out of town, Geshe Lobsang will be teaching this and the next intermediate series class. This once-a-month 5-class series is held on the second Saturday of the month through November via Zoom. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass along the driveway behind the building. That's usually more the case on the weekends, but if the lot is full, overflow parking can be found via Skyland Drive at the elementary school. Only access the school via Skyland Drive and walk through down the hill to our site. Information on all the events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If anybody's interested in volunteering, you can see me or any one of the other volunteers wearing a name badge out in the lobby. If you're interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library. You can also register online. There's a donation box near the entrance of this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now, if you would, please stand as we welcome our teacher, Geshe Phende, to come in for this evening's talk.
Okay, now first, before we start the actual teaching, so first we're going to recite here few verity prayers. And the first one is the Mantra of Heart Sutra. So during the recitation, this mantra, if you are familiar with called the emptiness meditation, one of the most important practice during recitation this mantra, you can meditate on emptiness. Really powerful meditation, but it is not easy. It's very hard to understand even. So some of you do not know this philosophy. Then at least during this recitation, the mantra, you should set up the good intention. Today, whatever you learn, and the purpose of learning these important Buddha's teachings is to change something, your mind, from negative to positive. Through that, change your behavior from negative to positives. If you can, I use this teaching and I will benefit to entire sentient beings. I will going to benefit to your society, the other peoples. So that is why I'm going to learn this Buddha's teaching. So that kind of intentions are very, very important. So during this prayer, you can set up those intentions. So I'm going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha daya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha. Now next is called the four immeasurable practice, which is the kind of the important practice. It's kind of compassion and love and joyfulness and equanimity. Here, compassion, love, it's all about the mind. It's not talking about externally. It's about your mind. You sincerely wish every beings, including people, you may hate them, you may don't like them, but in this moment, you wish all of them be free from suffering. So if you really feel that, that means you meditate on compassion, right? Then you wish them to have happiness. You wish them to, hear what you call may they find the joy that is never known suffering, like ultimate happiness. And may every beings be free from their attachment and anger. So remain equanimity. So when we recite this prayer, it is important to focus, not just think and visualize. You sincerely, you wish them, you feel that. So that's called the meditate on four immeasurables. So we're going to recite this prayer 3 times. You meditate on four immeasurables. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next is the mandala offering. Mandala, which means universe, right? You just visualize your merits, form of universe, and you visualize to offer to the teacher, to me, right? Point is, you're requesting me to please teach me. So in the Buddhist tradition, without request, you're not allowed to teach. So it's showing the other side, you're really willingly to learn something, and showing something you really want to change your mind, your behavior. That's why you're desperately seeking, I want to learn that, then I myself will change, and I can also help to our society, to other beings, right? That is why this mandala offering. So you're visualizing your merits, form of whole universe, and offer to the teacher and requesting, please teach me. So we recite that mandala offering in Tibetan Phende. Oi soi shi bi ji joy shi me do tama ri rava li shi nye de ge pa di Sangye Shindo Mede Pyo Waye Doi Gui Nama Dashi La Jeba Sho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniyataya Me. So these are the prayer we recited before the start the teaching. Is I mentioned earlier, as a teacher, as a listener, we make sure we all have good intentions. So if you have a good intention, whatever you hear, whatever you learn, it's something benefit to you. Benefit, what that really means. Benefit doesn't mean, oh, I become a very rich now, or I become a famous. It's not about that. Receiving benefit means, oh, through understanding on this teaching, it's helped me to change my anger, my attachment, my jealousy, my arrogance, my destructive emotions, which are the fundamental causes of my problem, my sufferings. So that's benefit. right? Through listening on this teaching, it helps me, my day-to-day, my my habit. I used to have so much negative habits I have. Now I learned that it helps to manage my emotion, my behave. That's benefit. So also it helps me to help to our society, to help to my family members, to help to my friends who have these kind of problems, right? So that's kind of benefit. So in order to receive this kind of benefit, you have to have first good intention. That's one of the reason. And from the Buddhist perspective, then also have another important, we are not only looking at the moment what I learn, but we are also looking to accumulate merits, virtues. So having good intention, one of the best is called the bodhicitta, which means the awakening mind, seeking oneself to become enlightenment, Buddhahood, for sake of all beings, that kind of intention, bodhicitta. So out of those intention, whatever you accumulate merits, all those merits becoming causes of achieving enlightenment, Buddhahood for oneself. So it's kind of this kind of the parts of the benefit, which is the unique Buddhist belief, right? So there are many benefits which just having good intention. It's important. That's why every teaching, when we teach, before that, there's certain type of the prayer and reciting. It's not just prayer. It's not just something miracle prayer. It's mainly to think behind the meaning of the prayer. Then we reflect this. Through that, we change our intention, right? To keep the good intention. That's why before start the teaching, the prayer we recited. So today, the topic is how to deal with stress, right? Depressions, anxiety, fear. We have many kind of the pain and our mental sufferings which we have, specific living in the society, specific and living in this generation, the generation of what you call technology, the generation of material, right? There's so much competition, right? Everything's which we have competition, competing each others. There's so much pressure behind us. Most of those pressure coming from one's own mind, but we do not know that. We're thinking the society or the families or the others, put so much pressure behind there. So that's why I always feel stress, feel worry constantly, feel depression, anxiety. Majority people have believed that way. We know we have issues about our mental stress and worries and so forth, but we always thinking this stress, this worry is because of the society or because of my job or because of somebody else. We always think that way. And because of that feeling, deep of your heart, we always feel some kind of negative feeling towards our society, towards others, because we're thinking, I'm stressed, I'm worried, I always constantly fear because of our society or because of my job, because of this or that. So that's why deep of our heart, somehow we're feeling of some negative, some kind of negative feelings there. So having certain type of negative thoughts to the people who works, who are your co-workers or your boss or your family members, whoever. So when you have deep of your heart, you dislike to them. If you don't like to them, when you have dislike, then any little things when they're done, something little things negative, you always very sensitive on holding this again. And that makes you so much stress, so much angry constantly. Because the deep of your heart you have dislike to those people. And those are the people you always have to talk with them, you have to work with them, you have to deal with them, right? These are the people. When we talk about the compassion, compassion to oversee, compassion to the other people, which is you don't need to deal with them, it's easy. There's nothing to do with that. Our problem is the people who lives with you, who works with you, right? Your neighbors, your co-workers, these are the people we have challenge. And sometimes people have very interesting, they're very they're very friendly with people's overseas or some new people. But that they are very difficult with the people, with your family members or your co-workers, all the people you always have to work with them. You have very difficult feeling. Why you have a difficult to them? Deep of your heart, you have something dislike to them, right? So we don't need to look to the other people. You should think about yourself. When I talk, I'm thinking about myself. Put example, I'm talking to you. You listening, you should think about yourself. Yes, I have dislike to these people, that people, right? Having deep of your heart dislike, that's the one of the causes. Makes you always unhappy with those people. So when you have something negative, I mentioned earlier, feeling towards them, those people, even they say something, little negative words, or they behave, or they play little politics, or whatever they do, you become so sensitive. You're just holding that part, and you're blaming, and you feel more angry towards them. There are many good things around there. They helps you many things, but just only one wrong mistake or negative things, you only see that way. You only hold this. Why are you only holding negative parts? Why are you not holding? There are many good things they have. Why your mind is not seeing this? Because the deep of your heart, you dislike those people. That's why when the mind is negative, then always look to the negative side. Positive side, how many you have, how much you receive, you don't see these things because you're not looking. Because deep of your heart is something showing there's some kind of negative thoughts there. Then why you have these negative thoughts? Because you dislike them. Why you dislike? Because you think, I'm stressed, I have a fear, I worry because you guys. That's thought. That kind of thoughts creates you this kind of deep of your heart dislike. Some of these feeling may remain very long time. As long as when these feeling deep of there you always problem. Always you do not have like a sincerely transparent relationship, not 100% believe, trust to those people. So when you cannot trust to those people, then always very difficult to work with them. So why these things? Because of, I mentioned, I'm stressed because of this guy. So that's we should first understand that. Then now here, either you like it, either you dislike, right? That person, you have to work with them always, every time, right? During you working with them, you have a problem. You always be suffer, stress, fear, angry constantly. These feeling, what they're going to do, it hurts you. Right? It makes you suffer, nothing else. The other person, either you like it, either you dislike it, that's the same. He will do same things. What he or she doing, same thing. It's not going to be affected to them. Right? Either he or she your big boss, or they are your co-worker, or they are just, what you call the same person of employees. Same, doesn't matter, right? You like it, you dislike it to them, it's not going to be effect to them. Effect to you. It constantly bothers you, constantly hurts you, constantly disturbs your mind. That first you should think. Be smart in emotion, right? Sometimes we are very smart in external material, right? How to fix this problem, how to do this, how to make a money, how to talk with this. Very smart there. But sometimes we are not smart in our inner world. So when you are not smart in your inner world, you do not know how to manage your inner world. Because of that reason, most of the time you remain with fear, stress, or anxiety, or depression constantly. So when you mental suffer always constantly, then externally doesn't matter how much successful you are. And sometimes we think, oh, I've become very successful. This is just surface thing. Purpose of being success in your job, whatever, is for happiness. That we should always think about. Whatever we're doing, right? Whatever business, whatever job you're doing, purpose of becoming successful in my job is to remain happy, peace. That's our goal. Because sometimes when you carefully, our life is short, right? Like you can look at maybe most of here over 30, 40s, right? When you think about from your childhood to this 30, 40 years, how go fast. It's like click, it's gone. Now next 30, 40 will go like that way. Then your life is finished now, right? It's gone now. Now have to go back, right? Either you believe next rebirth or not. It have to go. So that short moment, then every day, stress, worry, fear, constantly looks like, look, you came into this planet for suffering constantly, then what is the purpose of working so hard, right? We're working so hard every day. You should think about that. Since morning, like maybe majority, age of 3, 4, 5, you started education, study. You spend all your time for education, study, constantly. All of these things are for what? For happiness. To educate it, good job, then good job what? For happiness. That's the goal. But that happiness, never experienced, never achieved it. Constantly suffering. So this is what maybe sometime we do not know the emotion, the inner world, really pleased, make happy is something inner world, your inner mind. So remain full satisfaction of life means inner things. It's not external thing. External thing, I mentioned many times before, even you become a king of this world, you're still not enough. You still feel something not enough. So we need to control, maybe if there's certain type of the planet around there, right? We send, check it, what's going on, how should we control that? So we never, even you become a king of this world, never satisfied. Need more and more and more, right? So when you are not satisfied what you have, then suffering will start. I suffer because of not having them. That's called suffering, right? You have one car, for instance. You have one car. If the person would say, oh, that's enough now. If you're full satisfied what you're driving your car, you are very happy, enjoy it. But I have this car, but I'm looking much better car. I don't know the names, whatever they have. So certain fancy car, right? Fancy car there. So you have this car, but your mind is looking, I have to have this car, this fancy car. So because of that mind, what they're going to do, you are not satisfied what you have. That's why you constantly feel suffering. What suffering? Suffering of not having this car, this fancy car, right? That suffering constantly you experience. This is mental thing. It's not physical thing. It's your choice now. If you feel satisfied when you drive, you're enjoying, you happy. If you're not satisfied looking something, you are not happy, you may be frustrated, then sometimes it's getting worse. So I'm the loser, I'm the bad, so I don't have even this. You make your own thing to make your life is miserable. That's the mind. So therefore, even you are a millionaire, billionaire, you compare with, oh, I'm still not enough. I want to be like this business guy, which is much rich, right? Then you suffer of not having that same type of money. Then doesn't matter. Even you're a billionaire, you're still suffering, constantly suffering. It comes with the mind. So many things, even the small things, many things comes with the mind. So stress, anxiety, fear, worries which we have, right? So these things, external conditions around there, or job, or society, or the pressure from your families, your friends, these are the external conditions. But the internal causes is there. Your self-centered attitude, your greed, your arrogance, right? Your what you call craving, right? These are the emotions which creates you, which put you pressure, right? And that creates you stress, fear, worry, right? Constantly what you call fear, constantly. Most of those pain we have, main causes is when you really look it deeper. Why I'm very stressed? When you look deeper, you may have too much attachment, too much craving, too much greed, or too much arrogance. There's certain type of destructive emotion definitely in there. So these are the emotions which are the fundamental causes of your inner pain. If you really manage these inner causes, your own destructive emotion, externally, how much pressure they put it will not make you that much stress, not that much worries. If you really manage your emotion, so you not control your emotion, you're not managing your destructive emotion, emotions are there, then externally little things, when they put the pressure, it comes up very fast. Stress, fear. Like when you have gasoline there, even little spark, it creates fire, right? If there's no gasoline, right, gas, then how much fire you put it there, it's not going to burn anything. So this is emotion inside there. So as a human being, all of us has exactly same power, same potential to manage your emotion. There's nothing differences. From the Buddhist perspective, and a Buddha saying, entire sentient beings has equal, we call the Buddha nature. Every being has Buddha nature. Doesn't matter you believer, non-believer. What that means? That means every being has same potential to manage your anger, your attachment, your greed, your arrogance. If you really suppress them, this emotion, you can see it definitely helps to release your stress, your fears, your worries, your anxieties, many the burdens of the pain which you have, definitely it will release. It will change that. Therefore, from the Buddhist perspective, now how to deal with this stress and etc. is to deal with your emotion, the fundamental causes. Manage your destructive emotion. So when you really try to manage, reduce them, suppress them, even external things, exactly same pressure around there, will not that much affect you to create your inner stress and so forth. So how should we manage this destructive emotion, right? How should we deal? How should we reduce destructive emotion? There are so many information, and according to the Buddhist psychologists, Buddhist philosophy, there are so many. Depend on individual's mental state. Somebody can able to use this kind of practice, somebody can do higher, somebody can do this way. Therefore, there's no one solution to everybody same. Because everybody has different mindset. Everybody has different what you call background. Everybody has grown with the different cultures, different beliefs. According to your mental disposition, you need to adopt, okay, this kind of practice which suit with my mind. So I will take that one. So to do that, we learn variety types of the what you call the information where Buddha taught us. So studying Buddhism or Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching, it doesn't mean, we study the sutra, how to read them, the prayer, how to recite. Not only that, it's there's many information how to deal with my attachment, how to deal with my anger, how to deal my ignorance. So we have a variety types of the emotions, destructive emotions, who create us stress, depression, anxiety, fear, worries. Not only that, who also create us all the violent, negative behavior actions, which create not only suffering to oneself, it also creates suffering to our societies, right? That's why we're learning all this information, how to deal with that. So studying Buddhism is not just simple prayers or something. Practicing Buddha Dharma, it doesn't mean we go to the temple and just recite the prayers or mantra. It's mainly you learn this and you implement it. You exercise, meditate to change your thinking. Usually I think that way, now I change this way. So that changing is through mental reflection. Think, right? Or this reason, that reason. That's why meditation is the main practice for the Buddhist. Sometimes when we see the people, they consider themselves as a Buddhist, but they never ever meditate. It's like shock, right? So, oh, what kind of this? It's really, for them, Buddhism means just simple prayers or rituals, and unfortunately, maybe don't understanding the real Buddha Dharma. That's why. So among there, I will going to share a few little things about one of our causes of stress is our attachments, greeds, which that's the most problems. We have anger, jealousies, other things, but the attachment is much worse, actually. Attachment is the one creating many problems. Anger we can see quite easily. When you become angry, you behave violent, you can see quite. Attachment we may not seeing how bad it is, right? But attachment is much worse than anger. Most of our stress, fear, worries are created by our attachments. And also from the Buddhist perspective, we're talking about samsara. It's the mundane world. So circle, born into like a constantly into samsara, in the mundane world, is by your attachment. You attach to the mundane pleasure. Your attachment holds you, right? Keep you into the samsara. So therefore, attachment is the one really, really main troublemaker, right? So therefore, Buddha's teaching first very strongly emphasize, to manage the attachments. So how should we do? I mentioned earlier there are variety of ways. I'm sharing here just few things. One very popular practice, is called meditation on impermanence, meditation on death. Death meditation, meditation on impermanence are really, really powerful. It's a little bit scary, fear, but if you think more, eventually it really helps to deal with your attachments. So first step is death meditation. Death meditation. So the death meditation for the beginner, there are very different levels of the meditation. For the beginner, we're doing 3 different types of meditation. First, death is certain. Means definitely one day I'm going to die. That's always be remembered, right? It's a little scary, but it really helps you. Why we scare about the death? When you really caution yourself, right? Death is the same for everybody, right? Animals, human beings, everybody same. But the fear about the death is very different. Some people, so much fear. Some people, less fears, right, about the death. So, what is the causes of fear about the death? It's not because of the death. Death is the condition. The fear, the causes of fear of death is your attachment. That's why the people who have more attached to your mundane life, your families, your money, your blah, 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 right? More attached has a more fear about the death. Less attachment, less fear. It's very clear. One of my friends, she was telling me before she married, she says she has not that much fear about the death, her death, because she can, when she hear her grandparents are dying, she see, it makes a little bit concern, but not that much fear. Then slowly she married, then slowly she have children. She said after she have children, now that fear of death is much worse, much worse. So much fear about the death. It's very clear. Why they change it? Because after they got the children, they attach to their children. They do not want to separate it, their children. That's why you have fear now, right? So that fear, why you have, because attached to them. Right? So your attachment is the one who creates you so much fear about that. Either you feel fear about the death, either you do not have fear about the death. For the death, it's not going to change. We all have to go, right? But the moment when you are alive, you're much happier. Fear constantly bothers you. Constantly. So that comes from attachment. So therefore, when you meditate on death, again, meditate means be aware. Don't ignore. Be aware. Again, when you think more, slowly, that helps. Oh, one day I have to separate. with my children, with my family, with my power, everything you attach, anything, right? Oh, you accepting, I'm going to separate. Because when we have attached, we are not accepting. No, 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 it's always with me. That's the problem. Because we're not accepting the reality, but the reality nobody can change. Nobody. Even Buddha, from the Buddhist perspective, even Buddha cannot change. Reality is reality. We have to follow that way. So reality comes closer, closer, closer. It makes you more fear. Rather, you accept it. Oh yes, one day I have to separate with all of these things. Whatever I have around there, these are just for temporary. These are not whole my life, it's just for temporary. I have to separate with them. That kind of awareness, when you be more aware, slowly, it reduces your attachment to them. Greed, like catching, holding these things, releasing. Less attached to them, less fear. Right? That's why first step is meditate on death is certain. Right? That's meditation. Think again, first beginner, you may have so much fear. Then slowly after 6 months, 7 months, you constantly think you change. Less fear. Right? That's how the mind changing. Because it's nothing changed there. What they change, your attachment is changed to these objects. When your attachment is reducing, your fear is reduced. Right? So then, one of the benefit, like your power, your reputation. Sometimes the individual's fame, reputations are more attached instead of money and food. Sometimes you can eat simple food, people can steal food here, there, but you can give up your food. Giving up your fame and reputation is more difficult. People are so much attached to their fame, their reputations. That's why they always constantly worry in the society. People may think about our family. People may say something bad things to us. You're so concerned and worry for your image in your society. Because of that attachment to your image, your reputation in society, it constantly bothers. Somebody, when they put little rumors, it really creates you fear, worry, stress. Today, it's the generation of, what do you call, I forget this name. You can put everything in your Facebook or everything, right? What do they call? Social media, yes, social media. So it's available for everybody, right? They can write just few lines and it goes to thousands of people, right? You cannot control it. This is how it is. Living in that kind of generation, when somebody puts small things in you and your family about social media, how much they feel fear, the family member, concern, worry, stress, right? Because of you attached to your fame and reputation. That's why. So if you do not have attached to your appearance, your reputation, your fame, either people say very bad things to you, either they praise to you, it's not that much effective. Emotionally, it's nothing. You concerned because of you so attached to them. So attachment are the one creating this. Sometimes in the social media they put things there, the other victim, the person ended up with a depression, right? Because of people say very bad things to them, they feel depression, they feel anxiety, fear constantly. All of this come from where? Attached to their reputation. Fame causes that. So when you know death is certain means, oh, I have to separate with my reputation, my fame, whatever I have, It's separable. These are just for temporary. It's going to be separate one day. You accept these things. Again, it's less pressure. It's a really change. Living in a society, you're becoming much stronger, inner, more stronger, because of you have nothing that much attached to them. So others outside there, whatever put their pressure, you bad, you are good, it's not going to change you because you don't care about these things. So therefore, first meditate on death is certain. Death is certain. What that mean? Separation with whatever you owns are the certain. Definitely. You will definitely separate with everything. Right now you put so much effort to make this thing, right? But definitely you are going to lose these things. This is part of our life. So that's called death is certain. Then second, the time of death is uncertain, which means when will we separate it? Nobody knows, right? Next year, next month, next week, next day. Nobody knows when we are going to separate. So the time of death is uncertain. That's more powerful. So you think again, or the people say bad things to you, people say good things to you, whatever my reputation, whatever my fame, this is separable. This is just for temporary. And we're going to change. So in the society, they say bad things to you. If you really know the time of separation with this thing is uncertainty, anytime. So when they say very bad things to you, not that much stress, not that much worry, because it doesn't matter. I'm going to, all my reputation, whatever I have, is going to be separate. This is just for temporary. I will going to lose all of these things. So when you think about that, it will really change you. Like sometime, we think, I have few kind of the story about this. Some people, when they have separate with their boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife and husband, mentally they have lots of problems, right, coming. And I have one story about this. There's the guy, I can see his face. So he was so sad when he separated with his girlfriend, and very sad. Finally, he come to see me. And I told him, that problem is really changeable. It's not difficult. This problem you have, the suffering of losing the girlfriend, it's not big deal. It's really changeable. You don't need to feel depressed, because ended up he depressed and he losing his job, and it's really effective to life. So, but never expect, the monk or the Geshe will do some prayers, all the problems solved, she come back and we enjoyed our life. That's not going to work. Not that. Your problem is not about that. Not having her, suffering of not having her, that's not because of she is not with you. That suffering not come from there. But when the person suffer, I suffer because he is not with me, she is not with me, that we think. But actually this is the not causes, right? Because the other person, he don't have her, he's not suffering. I don't have her, I'm not suffering. You suffering, right? You don't have her, you suffer now. That means something wrong with you. Other people have no problem, you have something, that means something wrong with you. It's nothing to blame to the other person. So we need to exercise to realizing that. Because when you are suffer, you are not capable. You're thinking, he or she is the one who put my life very difficult. We hate to them, right? But this person, if they're not interested, then it doesn't matter, whatever you try, they're doing their own thing. Who cares, right? You will suffer more and more. So to learn that, to say, he don't have her, he's not suffering, I'm not suffering, this guy is not suffering, you suffering now, right? You suffer because of not having her. That means something wrong with you. That first understanding. So why you suffer? Because you attach to her, because you have some kind of expectation to her. So you don't get that expectation out of your attachment. That's why you suffer. So you suffering created by your attachment, not her or him. That first learn. Then you know that, okay, now solution. How can you heal with this problem? That's how the time of death is uncertain. Time of death is uncertain when we meditate, means time of separable with everything is uncertain. Next week, next month, next day, after next hour, uncertainty, right? The time of separation. So when you are really aware the time of separate with everything is uncertain, when you are aware with that things, one day I will going to separate with everything, you already prepare. Then separate with one person is not big deal. You will going to lose everything, right? So losing one thing, compared with that is nothing. You will going to lose everything. You will going to lose even this body comes with you. So that when you aware, then when you're losing little here, there, it's not that much. It's not that much mentally, it's not that much affected. It heals you from that pain you be suffer, right? So it's a very powerful meditation. The time of death means time of separation with everything is uncertain. It comes any times. So that meditation is really, really helps you to heal from your stress, your fear, your depression, all kind of things. Then next, at the time of death, nobody can help you, right? And when we are dying, who can help? Your family, you're so attached, what they can do? They just sit there and cry. That's all. Nothing to do. It makes you mentally most sadness, seeing all your families crying, right? Instead of helping you, disturbs you, right? Your money? Of course not. Your power? Of course not. Because these things, instead of benefit, it makes you more difficult, because of now I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to lose this, more fear. So at the time of death, none of this can help me. When you're really thinking about these again, it's a really release. It gives you so much freedom. Freedom means you're not stuck with anything. When your mind is not stuck with anything, you have full freedom. When you have freedom, your minds flow very peacefully. We cannot flow with the reality because our mind is stuck with something here, there, right? That's why it makes you difficult. Stuck because of attachments. So at the time of death, right, nobody can help. When you really think about that, oh yes, and my mind is. So when you really understanding on this helps you to less attach to all those material. So when you have less attached to all of these things, definitely your stress definitely change. Externally there might have lots of pressure behind there, but internally when you do not have any attached to this thing, it's whatever they put it, your mind is still relaxed, still calm, because there's anything inside the mind push you there. It's all freedom there. It really helps to deal with this. So that's one kind of meditation. Death is certain, the time of death is uncertain. At the time of death, nobody can help except peace of mind, right? So these three meditation, we usually, at the Buddhist practitioner or the beginner practitioner, we teach this after breathing, meditation, all kind of things. But that's living in this mundane life, our most difficult, the stress coming from our greed and attachments. So that's why first, my attachment, my greed, I need to suppress them, I need to manage. Nobody else can manage my attachment. right? That's why these practice, it really helps to manage your attachment. When you have less attached, you can see less mentally pressure, more freedoms. That's the one way. Then second, little bit better understanding on Buddhism, or who've been practiced quite a little bit longer, we call the renunciation practice. And the renunciation. As a monastics, when we take a monastic, the vow, a precept, the intention should be a renunciation. Renunciation, which means whole samsara, this mundane world, which is called the samsara. Samsara, which means whatever we have, a specific, unique Buddhist way of thinking, like my body, my emotion, my lifestyle, whatever beautiful things around there. First is why, how I born into here, how I ended in here, right? Because of your previous karma, right? Previous karma come from your mental afflictions. As long as when you are living under your mental affliction, you constantly accumulate karmas. Living under the influence of karma as a mental affliction result always in samsara, right? Mundane life, not the pure mundane life. Born into this mundane life, always problems. Because that's you born. I mentioned many times, when you're born into the mud, right? You will stuck into the mud. There's nothing to complain, oh, I have a mud here, I have a mud here. You're born into there. So when you're born into there, you will experience this problem because you're born there. Same whole samsara is the suffering. It's not pure. So living in samsara, suffering of aging, suffering of illness, suffering of death and dying, stress, all kind of these problems, of course, we will be experienced that. That's the realms we born in. So when you have already expectation, already expect, if I born into this way, I will be experience this suffering. So when you know that, then when you encounter with all this problem, will not that much mentally puts you stress and fear, because you already expect these things. That will come. So it's mentally release. So knowing whole mundane life is samsara, so true happiness is the freedom of my attachment, freedom of my destructive emotion. If I am really free from my destructive emotion, then finish. I not need to come back into these realms. Right now, I am not free. Like a mala, that's called a rosary mala, right? Each of beads hold by these threads. As long as when you're with this thread, there is no freedom. You have to go in there. Doesn't matter how many times you go, you have to be there. Because these each beads hold by these threads. If you don't cut these threads, these beads never be freedom. It's been living with there, right? Exactly similar, if I'm not free from my mental affliction is like a threads that hold me into that same samsara circle. So if I cut it, my mental affliction, clean it, then I'm independent, freedom, right? So that's renunciation. You renounce all this mundane pleasure, doesn't matter how beautiful it is. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes very high, very enjoy it, doesn't matter how much there. You have to fall down there. Right? It's a roller coaster. You will fall down. Right? Then you go up, fall down. It's constantly rolling. That's why you are in these threads. You are still under the influence of your mental afflictions. So real freedom is when you cut this thread, your mental affliction. When you're free from them, then you have nothing to go with there. Your freedom. It's called liberation. Right? So that's understanding on these things and seeking oneself. Always, I really want to free from my mental affliction. I put my effort, my talent, my energy, everything for get rid of my mental affliction. freedom of my mental afflictions. That kind of desire is called renunciation. So out of that renunciation, then they take a monastic vows, monks, nuns, all these precepts, the monastic vow, out of that intention. That means any dharma you practice is for what? It's for sake of cut your mental affliction. That's all. There's nothing to do with any other. Right? So not having enough renunciation, then our practice is very complicated. Right? The dharma practice we do, half is for mundane things. Right? Or I need to have this, I need to have this, I need to do this, I pray to have this, to have. Looks like even the dharma, even the prayer, dharma prayer, but it's sake of become rich, become this, it's all about mundane thing. So this misperception, not becoming pure because of not understanding the renunciation. That's why. So when you have renunciation practice, understanding that, then you, samsara doesn't matter how beautiful it will fall down like a roller coaster. It's just for temporary. Next day, it's fall down. As a monk, even if you say, I have a dream to make a big temple or whatever things there, you can dream it, but that doesn't mean you having them, you will suffer. Right? To take care of this, I have to have money. To have the money, I have to say, good sponsor, get nice. All this drama I have to play to make a money. And all your effort you put it to make a money to have this. Doesn't matter, or temple or your own house. It's no intention because of attachment, right? So when you're really understanding this kind of the samsara things, even you do not have all of these things, the mundane thing, the goal is, from the monastic perspective, as a monk, is to serve the dharma, which means give that message we deliver from the Buddha. How much I reach this message to other beings. In order to get this message, maybe to bring the people, I may have some kind of the place to people come. If you have that intention, then even build the temple, whatever, your intention is for sake of sharing the dharma towards them, therefore not that much pressure. Right? It's a very different than intention. So it can come mundane life, like a family life, to monastic everywhere. So renunciation really helps to not that much attach to them. So no attach doesn't mean you don't care to them. Also that doesn't mean, I don't have attach doesn't mean I don't have them. These two things are very differences. I have, like for instance, I have a car, right? For instance, you think, I have a car, but I don't have attached to the car. Very different. Having car or attached to the car, very different. Sometimes you don't have a car, but you can have very attached to the car. Same problem, right? They are the people homeless who do not have anything, but they are not still happy in peace. So external nothing doesn't mean happy. Attachment still there. I want to be rich. I want to have big house. I want to have nice car. Attachment is there. You will be suffer, right? So I have car, but this is just sake of take me here, there, in function in my life. I need this. It's just like things which purpose of having them is to take me where I need to go. So nothing to attach when you use it. Very different. Mentally so much kind of the peaceful. As a family, I have family there, no attach, but I sincerely love to them. So Buddhist ways, don't attach, be love. So when you really love to them, it's very differences. When you have sincerely love, less anger, less emotion. When you're so attached, your mind becomes so narrow-minded. When the other things not go what you want it's not follow that way, makes you frustrating, makes you angry, makes you so much worry. When you have pure love to them, you still care, you still want to make them one of the best person, but even they're not go in their way, your wish is not that much creates you anger, emotion. That's why no attach doesn't mean you don't need no attach. Be love to everything. Love to every sentient being. Love to your family. So when you go with that way, your life has become more balanced. And that helps to release your stress, to release your fear, worry. Many mental problems definitely change. So therefore, finally, Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teachings is like a medicine to cure your mental affliction. That's what we always think about. When you engage into the Buddha Dharma, it's not about something power or all kind. There are some blessing, all kind of things. This is the one part, but this is not the main part. Main point is I adopt this Dharma. It's for sake of change my destructive emotion, my mental affliction. Then when you study the Dharma, very different things. You're always looking, oh, this teaching has really helped to reduce my arrogance, my anger. Oh, this is very helps me. So when you know that way, you're always utilizing. When you're in day-to-day life, when you have something go a little bit better, you feel arrogant. Oh, I think about this way to release my arrogance. When you have so attached, oh, I use this one to meditate, to release my anger, to release my attachment. That's called practicing Dharma, right? It's mainly to change your destructive emotion. Therefore, studying Buddha Dharma, it's very, very important. Even studying Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching, doesn't mean you have to be Buddhist. Of course not. Buddhism is the secondary. It's not main goal. Main purpose is to change your emotion, because these are the ones who create you suffering. So Buddhism has lots of information about the psychology, about the philosophy, which is tremendous, helps you. It's very ancient knowledge, powerful, very effective. But you don't need to be a Buddhist or something. Becoming Buddhist or what of these things, that's the secondary. Buddhist doesn't mean always be good. In the Buddhists we have lots of troublemakers, right? Be honestly. So therefore, sometimes we were concerned about, oh, this religion, if I study, I have to be this. I don't need. When the time you really want to do, you do it. That's not big deal. Main point is, as long as too much attachment, too much anger, too much greed, too much arrogance, I suffer. My family suffer. Our society, everywhere problem. So I really need to heal, manage my emotion. That's why I study. That's why I use it. I implement myself to change this. I learn. It really helps me. Through my own experience, I share with my children. I share with my family. I share with my society. Through my own experience, that's called benefit to others. You don't need to look them to convert the religion. It's not big deal. Sometimes we are very narrow-minded. Oh, make a population. If you have too much anger issue, if you live with the only Buddhist people, you have a problem. Even you become a monk in the monastery, you have a problem. Sometimes in the monastery temple, they're fighting. Right? Very in front of the Buddha, they may fight each other. Right? We have to go with the reality. So therefore, don't worry about these things. Mainly, these teachings is the ancient philosophy. Not Buddha himself alone. The many master scholars come after him, study, experiment, research. So much they've done and write hundreds of books. Right? Here, you look at this old book there. There are 108 or something books there. These books are written by Buddha, right, in this side. All of philosophy, psychologies. You look at inside there, all of their 213 volumes, texts. Each volume have around 400 to 500 pages. These are the Indian great scholars, Buddha students. First, second, third centuries. Very smart. Most of these teachings, not just prayer or something, ritual. Most of these are psychology, philosophy, logic, most of this. So that's why it really helps to manage your emotion. So that's, I think, the time already there, so I'm going to stop here. So I hope that will little bit helps to you in future when you read any textbooks. You should really try to something help you to manage your emotions. Anytime when you have mental issue like stress or fear, not only look the condition side. Of course, condition is easier. Look rather you inside. What emotion today makes you so much worry now? Why I'm worried? What kind of emotion there? When you really look at there, you may have some kind of expectation. And that expectations come from your attachment. So when you're really realizing that, I need to deal with my expectation. How should I manage, right? How should I reduce that expectation? I have too much high expectation. That's why I have now emotionally problems, right? So that's, apply your practice on your day-to-day, your struggle. It really helps you. Okay, so we're going to stop here now. Finally, conclusion. We are going to recite the mantra of Buddha of Compassion mantra. So when we recite this mantra, even you can able to follow the mantra or not, main thing is the compassion. You think about entire beings. Imagine morning when you look into the highway, right? There are thousands of cars running down, thousands of cars running up. Everybody is so running, rushing. It's for happiness. But they all suffer. They have their own struggle. Everybody have their own little world there, and they're working with this. And you sit with them, everybody has something issues there. So they're doing everything for happiness, but really they're not achieve that happiness. Instead of that, they all have physical, mental struggle, pain. So you wish every beings be free from suffering, right? Physical, mental, emotional pains. Be free from those mental afflictions which are the causes of those problems. So that wish, you really feel it, then recite the mantra. That's called the meditate on compassion. Okay, now I'm going to recite the mantra. Om mani padme hoi, 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 Om mani padme hoi. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Oi dei nai ji zhu, lai mai dui ji, ji mai dui dui, ve di di dui da 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 lai mi ba da da ki de Geshe la dai wai Troi in de tang de in bai ji ji loi troi in de ta de in bai ji ji lo Chanju simcho rinpoche ma che pa nam ke juj ke ba nyam pa me pa yang kong ne kong do pe ver show. May the precious and sublime bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline but increase forever. Okay, thank you very much.